Hey all you Minties, this is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and join me today as I take an advanced look at 3 different books from Dark Horse Comics. We have Machine Gun Wizards, Kabuki Omnibus Volume 2, and No One Left to Fight. So please stay tuned. Okay, before we get started, I'd like to thank the folks at Dark Horse for sending us an advanced copy of each of these books. These books are due out at comic book stores and places like cheapgraphicnovels.com on March 11th. So let's take a look at Machine Gun Wizards first. So here we have Machine Gun Wizards. Retails for $19.99. I'll be showing off the spines in a little bit. But this book is written by Christian Ward. And I don't know if you all remember or not, but Christian Ward is the gentleman that drew Black Bolt. And he is working with G. Willow Wilson on this other Dark Horse title called Invisible Kingdom. So he is the writer on this, but he is not the artist. The artist is Sam Cavell. Let me make sure I'm saying his name. Sammy Cavella. Almost there. This book is pretty interesting because it takes the story of the Untouchables, so you have like Elliot Ness versus Al Capone. However, it puts a spin on things. Instead of them bootlegging alcohol, they are bootlegging magic. So it's this world where magic exists, and Al Capone is dark magic and wheeling and magic, and Elliot Ness and his Untouchables are out to put a stop to it. So it does take place in this alternate Chicago 1931. So I thought this was a pretty cool premise. Oh, and Christian Ward also draws the backup pages too. So there's a few backup pages like here towards the end. Yeah. Right here. Yeah. So you do get to see Christian Ward's artwork in here. And he also supplies, of course, the covers. He does do the colors, but he's also joined by D. Cunefe. Oh boy. Not sure how to pronounce that name. Now I don't want to flip too much through here in case you are interested in reading it. I thought this was really a cool concept. I'm a big fan of not only the Untouchable series, but the 1987 Kevin Costner Untouchables with Sean Connery. So this one spoke to me, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun take on the world of 1931 mobsters. It is 144 pages. I'm going to look through some of these extras here in the back. There is Al Capone with variant covers and sketches and character studies. I love when they include things like this in books. And there's the original promo cover. Next up is Kabuki, Volume 2. This is the Omnibus edition. Very much like the library editions, they have this spine on them. This is actually the library edition, except in trade paperback format, because it is this thick. It is 416 pages. So continuing the stories from the very first volume, this one collects the stories from Skin Deep and Metamorphosis. And now they're in trade paperback. And the main reason I am flipping through here is so you can see how much David Mack's artwork has improved over the last, I'm not sure if you remember the first volume that I did, but just look at this wonderful psychedelic dreamlike artwork that he has kind of developed. And he did show a lot of that in Volume 1. Very reminiscent of the things that you would find in volumes of Sandman, for example. But his art has just become absolutely gorgeous. Whether he's using real-life models, whether he's using props, it's a very unique art style, kind of reminiscent of a little bit of the surrealness of Yoshitaka Amano. That's what it reminds me of. And if you've never read it, it is a trip. It reads like a dream. So it is, again, the continuation of Kabuki, who was an assassin for the NOH, which is a government body. Oh, flipping through here reminds me that I need to reread these because I've only read these one time. By this point, I want to say that a lot of these stories were first done for Dark Horse Comics, so it was after the Caliber years and after the Image years. Let me see. Let's look in the back here for extras. So all there is just this right here, the thank yous and the art thanks, the color credits. And then where else you can find David Mack's artwork. 416 pages full of this gorgeous artwork. And the book retails for $29.99. And it's a lot cheaper to get than those out-of-print library editions. Man, I have been looking for those for a while. I think it's volume 2 or 3 that's completely out of print. Now here is what those spines look like together. Now it makes me happy to see both a volume 1 on this and Machine Gun Wizards. No One Left to Fight. This is probably one of the most interesting ones that I've read in quite a while. This reads more like an independent comic. And I know Dark Horse, I mean, that's what they were at first. But for some reason, this reminded me of those years of reading like the heavy metal comics or the magazines or independent comics, zines from the underground. That's what this reminded me of. But it's heavily inspired, obviously, by anime. Now, here is the big draw to me are the use of the colors. I don't remember in recent years what else this reminds me of other than video games or anime as far as the colors. And I'll talk a little bit here about the plot. It's a very simple plot. It reminds me of anime. So actually, let's talk about the plot really quick. Because the book, by the way, retails for $19.99. It has 128 pages of nothing but kick-ass action. So these group of heroes, Vale, Tibor, and Crystal, I think is her name, have defeated just about every bad guy on Earth. And now they are kind of living their own life. They have kids, they have their own lives. And, oh, I love the way that each of these end. Can Vale survive Timor's blast barrage? What's behind Vale's strange affliction? Next time in No One Left to Fight. And if that doesn't remind you of Dragon Ball Z or anime, I don't know what does. So, that's it. That's pretty much all the premise of the story. Once these heroes have kind of grown apart from defeating the bad guys, they're living their own lives with their own families, what is there left to do? And they get bored. So there's absolutely nonsense of just fighting for the sake of fighting. Like each issue is a big fight. So if you're a fan of things like Street Fighter, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, Naruto, things like that, and of course One Piece and My Hero Academia, the colors, the character designs, man, I really enjoyed this book. And it is a pretty fast read. Not going to lie about that, but I fell in love with the colors. That is what drew me to this. This is written by Aubrey Sitterson. And then the artwork, and I don't know who the artist is Fico Ocio. And Ocio provides the colors. But he's also joined in a few chapters by Rafael Avila. The colors. I don't know what it is about. Krista, that's her name. I don't know what it is about them. I remember the first time I saw computer-separated colors. A lot of computer-generated colors from Image. And it kind of reminds me of things like that. It's very unique, I think. But that's the beauty of comic books, right? Like, you expect to find something you've already seen 100 times over and over. And even though I'm literally talking about the plot of Dragon Ball Z, of these characters just fighting because they're bored, it's still a unique experience because you find something like this, the artwork. Let's look in the back here for extras. I don't want to give away the ending, so it is all pixelated, but it says, is this really the end? Tell your local comic book shop, your family, your friends, your enemies, and everyone you know that you need more No One Left to Fight. So I hope we get more. This collects issues 1 through 5 of the series. Here is the sketchbook and a commentary by Fico Ocio. There's Vale, Krista, and Timor. Those are the main characters, the original heroes. And here are character studies and sketches. And man, the splash page and color layout. He goes through the process of how he does it. Just look at that. That is so badass. Ridiculous. I want to know more about these other side characters. Really had fun with this one in Machine Gun Wizards. Now, if you're interested in purchasing any of these books, you can purchase them from our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you Minties, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. Now, that was the contents of each of these books and the page count. Let me know in the comments down below which ones you are picking up, if you already own the Kabuki Library Edition and you're passing up on the Omnibus, or if the Omnibus is the way that you're getting it. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, and remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be Near Mint.